there. I'm your host, Leslie Randolph. I'm a self-confidence coach for teenage girls and the self-confidence coach you wish you had as a teen. Honestly, I'm the self-confidence coach I wish I had as a teen because I know I could have saved myself and my mother a whole lot of heartache if I'd only known then what I know now. I hope to save you some of that suffering by sharing the lessons I learned late in life right here on Why Didn't They Tell Us? Welcome to the show.
Hey, happy people. Welcome back to Why Didn't They Tell Us? And welcome to summer. Yes, it is official. I think I jinxed myself a couple weeks back when I said I was, going to put away my winter coat. No, it wasn't summer yet. I probably could have left a few layers out, but now I'm going on the record. I'm coming on the mic and saying it's official. Summer has started. And where I live, summer is synonymous with camp. So many of the tweens and teens that I have the privilege to coach and my kids' friends are all packing their bags and heading off for a week or weeks to summer camp, to sleepaway camp. Now, as an adult, I have to tell you, this sounds delightful. Like weeks on end with very little responsibility beyond making your bed and passing room inspection, and days dedicated to exploring and playing and growing and trying new things and meeting new people. Like, sign me up. As soon as adult summer camp is a thing, I will be the first one in line. Now, my excitement is not being met by the girls that I have the privilege to coach. Yes, absolutely. Some of them are super excited for the weeks ahead, but a lot of them are feeling a lot of other really big feels. Nerves, anxiety, dread, almost like they're going to camp against their will. If you listen to some of the things that they're saying. And so that prompted me to get on the microphone today to talk about what it means to be a confident camper and how you can go to camp and feel confident and all those other feels that I'm feeling, right? The delight, the excitement, the opportunity for newness versus the fear of newness. And so I'm going to lay out some tips and tools today that you can pack with your camper if they're heading off this summer and take with them. Maybe, call this my love letter to them, my care package to your camper who might be heading away for the summer. Now, if that doesn't apply to you, I want to say something. Stick around because the tips and tools, the concepts that I'm going to cover today, they're not just for camp. They are about starting something new. And yes, this is a season for some of us of summer camp. But for a lot of my clients, it's a season of transition, going from elementary school to middle school to high school to college, or just that new season of life. And what I'm going to talk about today applies to all of it. This is going to be an episode where I am talking a lot to the camper. So I'm going to give you tips and tools, moms, but this might be one of those episodes where you can just turn up the volume in the car while you're driving because these are for her so that she can go off and be her most confident, capable, and courageous self and have the best summer ever. All right. That sounds good. Yes? Fabulous. Let's dive in. So first things first, I talked about all these feelings, the dread, the nerves, the anxiety. We got to normalize it. Of course, she feels nervous to be going away, to be leaving you, to be starting something new. So totally normal. And if you've been in my world for a while, you know that all feelings are welcome. Self-confidence is not a fearless emotion. It just helps you fear less. Self-confidence is that feeling that says, hey, anxiety, hey, dread, hey, nerves, you can be here, but you cannot be the decision maker in what I do and don't do. You cannot decide if I go to camp. You cannot decide if it's going to be a great summer. That's up to me. That's self-confidence. So new people, new places, unfamiliar routines, that is a lot. And nerves don't mean something has gone wrong. They just mean something new is happening. And new can be exciting too, but you have to train your brain to see the excitement. So I want anyone who is starting something new or going off to camp this summer to totally normalize the emotions. Moms, validate before you negotiate. That's one of my favorite tools. We validate the emotion because it is totally normal, but we do not let it be the only one that is there. And so my first tip and tool, other than normalizing the emotion, is to just be aware of one way only thinking. If your brain is stuck on a loop with thoughts of, I'm not going to fit in, I won't make friends, what if no one likes me? You have to notice that pattern and challenge it. That is your brain trying to keep you safe, right? Our brain's only job is to keep us safe and alive. And so what it always does is it looks out for that what if worst case scenario and offers it to you on a silver platter. What's the worst case scenario at camp? I'm not going to fit in, I'm not going to make friends, and no one's going to like me. And your brain's like, here, I'm keeping you safe from this possible threat. Let's think about it and plan for it. It doesn't really work, right? It just makes you feel anxious, nervous, dreading camp. You need to train your brain to see more than one way of thinking. We got to challenge those thoughts. First, you got to notice them, and then you got to negotiate with them and recognize that that is not the only way to think about it, that there are other possibilities. So you can challenge the exact thought, right? Like, I won't make friends. We can challenge that one directly with, I might meet someone new who totally gets me. Or we can just think about other parts of camp, right? Like, I might get to try water skiing, which I've never done before. That could be fun. Or just something like, making friends takes time, and that's okay. I've got lots of days to be a friend and to make a friend. Now, here's something that I'm going to say. Even if you don't fully believe these thoughts yet, right? Like, our brain really believes the what if and worst case scenario. It attaches to it. So if you don't fully believe the alternative thought, the negotiated thought, that's okay. Practice it. You're giving your brain just a possibility to consider, and you're helping it shift the focus away from that fear. We want to go from fear to possibility. And from possibility, we can create confidence, which is why my next tip is to, as you're thinking about camp and negotiating with those what if worst case scenario thoughts, I want you to think about something that you can control. And you know what that is? It is forever you. So you can control your mindset, the thoughts that you're thinking about camp, right? Let's think about the things that excite us. Let's think about the possibilities of that best case scenario. And if that feels too far-fetched, go there and then just take one step back versus 100 steps back. But when I say you can control you can control how you show up at camp, how you show up, the friend that you are, the person that you are. And I don't like to spend a lot of time in other people's minds. One of the biggest confidence kryptonite that I can think about is other people's opinions of you. This is one instance where I invite you to do it. I want you to consider, how do I want to be seen? What do I want people to think about me at camp? What kind of camper do I want to be? Think about words and descriptors of when your friends go home and they're like, hey, I met this girl named Leslie at camp. She's really fill in the blank. What do you want to be at camp? How do you want to show up? And then think, what can I do to be that person? If you want to seem friendly or kind or brave, fill in the blank. What does that version of you do at camp? Do they smile and make eye contact? I bet they do. Do they say hi to someone that's sitting alone or offer someone on the bus a seat next to them? I bet. Do they sign up for something that looks fun even if no one else is doing it? Yeah. If we want to be brave, if we want to be daring, if we want to try something new. Remember, confidence isn't about having no fear. It's about choosing to act in line with who you want to be, even when you feel the fear. It's not letting the fear decide who you are and what you do or don't do. So start exploring what version of me is going to camp, and then what can I do at camp to be her? Let that be kind of your compass out in the woods of how you're going to act and show up. And you can always come back to that. You can always come back to, is how I'm acting in line with who I want to be, how I want to be perceived, right? We can go in their brains to think how I want them to perceive me only because we want to show up as that person. We'll never be able to control what they think, but you can control how you show up. So I also want to make sure that you are not projecting someone that you're not. When we fill in the blank of who we want to be, make sure it's someone you want to be, because you got to go be her at camp, right? So knowing who you are before you go, that is critical. If you remember my definition of self-confidence, it's knowing, loving, trusting, and believing in yourself, and being willing to take courageous action, even when every other emotion is present. But that knowing part, that's right up at the front. I lead with it because you got to know who you are. So take some time again to check in with you. Like, what kind of people feel good for me to be around? Go look for those people. Don't go looking for people you want to fit in with. Go looking for people you want to be around. Because remember, you got to be her. What do I enjoy doing? Like, what are some of the activities that I love to do, that I'm excited to do, that I'm willing to do? What helps me feel grounded and safe when things are unfamiliar? Have maybe that action plan in mind of when those totally normal feelings creep up, what can I do to take care of myself? Is there a counselor that I can talk to, an owner I can talk to, one friend at camp that I feel really safe that I can talk about these feelings with, give them the moment that they deserve, and then go enjoy my archery, my skiing, my smiling at someone and introducing myself to someone. It is so key that you go to camp with a strong sense of self. That way you're not just trying to fit in. You're making choices based on who you are, not who you think you should be. Because you're going to have a really strong sense of who you are and how you're going to show up. If you love archery, go do archery. Even if your friends are all doing something else. Do not sacrifice you just to be with someone. You guys will find each other at the end of the day. Make sure that you are doing activities that align with, again, what do I enjoy doing? Maybe even make a deal with yourself at the beginning of summer of like, this is what I'm signing up for. And then feel all those feelings of FOMO or fear when none of your friends sign up and still do it anyway. It's okay to have your own interests and it's okay to follow them. This is one of those that is so big for when you are transitioning into middle school or high school. Don't not do the tennis team or the dance team because no one else is doing it. You might just find your people doing the activities that you like to do. It almost makes too much sense, right? That people like you would be doing things that you like, but it's up to you to be willing to go do those things. So go do those things. So now I'm going to totally contradict myself, right? Be you, do the things you want to do. And now my next tip is, but stay open to trying new things, right? Be willing to try an activity that you've never done before, even if it just piques your interest a little bit. And I'm going to double down on this one of, even if you know you're going to be bad at it at first. It is so important when you are trying to cultivate confidence that you are willing to be bad at first. That is the only way you get good at anything. That's the only way you try anything new, is that willingness to try. And I'm telling you, your confidence soars when you step out of your comfort zone. But there you go. It requires that willingness to feel a little awkward, to feel a little anxious or scared at first. That's where confidence comes in and says, hey, feelings, you can be here. But you can't decide that I'm not going to water ski this summer. I know I'm going to fall down a lot. I'm not going to beat myself up for it, because if I water ski every day for a week, imagine who I will be at the end of that week. Imagine how good I will be. So I encourage you to try to discover a new talent, a new interest, or a new friend. I know sometimes when we go to camp, we have these groups, right? Like my buddy. Be the friend that is willing to make a new one. We need so much more of that at camp and in the world. You can be true to yourself and open to growth at the same time. It's not contradictory, even though I said it is. It's brave, and it is the ultimate confidence cultivator. So here's what I'm going to close this with. And I know this was the how-to of being a confident camper. But just like learning to water ski or archery is a skill, so too is self-confidence. Self-confidence is simply a choice you make when you are willing to challenge some of that what if worst case scenario thinking, when you are willing to feel all your feels, when you know who you are and you show up as her. That is how we strengthen that self-confidence muscle. But it is a skill and it takes time. So even if you get off to camp and you say, I'm going to do archery and then end up not, that's okay. Every day there is a new opportunity to learn and to grow. So just be kind to yourself while you build up this muscle that is self-confidence, and know that you don't feel it all the time and you don't act confident all the time. That's okay. We're learning and we're growing. Every time you take a small, brave step, saying hi first, trying a new activity, trying the activity you love even when no one else is doing it, sitting with someone new, or making a new friend, you are building self-confidence. Remind yourself often that you can do hard things. You can. And listen, camp might feel hard right now, but if you use these tips and tools, I bet you it's going to be the best summer ever. My friends, why didn't they tell us that it's so totally normal to feel all the feels before starting something new? It's really our brain just trying to keep us safe. But if we talk to our brains more than we listen to it, if we just consider different ways of thinking, if we show up as ourselves, if we know who that person is and show up as her, that is how we cultivate confidence at camp and beyond. All right, my friends, that's what I got for you today. Till next time.
Love what you hear? Well, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me at confidencecoachforgirls.com. That's confidencecoachforgirls.com. Or email me at lesliethelifecoach@gmail.com. That's lesliethelifecoach@gmail.com. Hope to hear from you.